We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
If you're a new parent, a bad day means you either ran out of coffee, diapers, patience, or all of the above. Stocking up on cold brew and deep breaths are all you. Hello Bello's got your baby's butt covered. Because Hello Bello believes all families deserve premium, affordable baby products. With their ultra-convenient diaper bundle subscription service that includes 7 packs of diapers and 4 packs of plant-based wipes, you'll never run out of supplies. Better yet, they're delivered to your door. Set, change, and cancel your delivery schedule whenever you want. If you're a parent, your to-do list is longer than all your baby's wake windows combined. Let Hello Bello take care of diaper runs until you're done potty training. It was named Best Diaper Subscription by New York Magazine and winner of the 2022 Good Housekeeping Parenting Award for a reason. Go to hellobello.com/Wondery to get 30% off your first customized bundle and a full-size freebie product of your choice. That's hellobello.com/Wondery to start bundling with 30% off your first order. Don't forget, that's hellobello.com/Wondery.
Cold open.
We haven't had one in a while.
We haven't been funny in a while.
You can tell me that. I was listening to something back. I was like, we haven't been funny in fucking years. What are you talking about?
Were we ever funny?
Somewhat. Some people apparently think we are. Look, I just want to talk about the like. That's all I want to talk about.
The what?
The French. You really got to watch the opening ceremonies. I watched it twice. Arthur, do not use this.
It's totally getting used now. He's never going to cut this.
Because there was a Twitter hashtag of Olympics that was trending.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I Googled it to find a picture of it.
No, why?
And then I found a picture of a man with a... Welcome, everyone, to the SICKO's Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of July 28, 2024. Y'all,
Folks, we are having a normal one here at the SICKO's Committee Podcast.
Y'all, I only care about one thing, and it's this. I've got Olympic fever, baby. Commish, how is your Olympic fever?
It's fine. It's on. The only problem is when I watch sports, my 7-year-old son likes to imitate what he sees on the TV. So,
how much furniture has he lunched himself off of because gymnastics are on?
So he didn't. I've been watching the Peacock Gold Zone or whatever. Multi-view. So there's 4 sports on at one. It's the quad box for the Olympics. So that has been on, and whichever one has the sound, which I can, pick which one has the sound going on, he tends to gravitate towards that. So he's been playing Rugby Sevens.
Yeah.
And he sets up the foam roller and then he basically bowls it over and like trips over it, and he tries to, score a try.
Glorious.
He's done a little bit of the fencing. He's done that. The
Handball?
swimming. The what?
Handball?
The handball, he tried to figure out handball. And then he's like, what's handball? I was like, you just throw it. And then he just threw a ball at me and hit me in the face. So,
There.
yeah.
That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You can't hit someone in the face in handball.
No, you can't. So, I mean, I sent him to his room.
I think you mean you shouldn't.
You should not.
You get a green card, yellow card. I think it's a green card in handball.
But yes, I have the, the joke is like, hey, you got McDonald's at home. I have the Olympics at home. So it's like, that's how it's been going. So just imagine you're just trying to watch the TV and you have this open space and you have a 7-year-old flipping in front of you at all times. And that's how I also play NCAA, the EA college football game too. And unless he's sleeping and I'm playing at like 10:30 p.m. at night.
Pitt Girl, how's your Olympic fever?
It's great. I am out here watching all the things. And I am watching them on cable. So I've been flipping back and forth between 3 different channels for the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. Good
Arthur.
prep for college football season, honestly.
Arthur, how's your Olympic fever?
Listen, like I was watching it on the plane, okay? Like it's crazy. I don't know a lot about a lot of these sports, right? Like the Winter Olympics is the one where it's like, oh, like I actually have existing knowledge about these things.
Gotcha.
The Summer Olympics is just like, yeah, man, this stuff's all happening. I watched the USA men's basketball team. They are so fun this time around. Like I feel like really every USA men's basketball team in the Olympics I remember, it's always been some sort of like, okay, like who wants to do it? It's never been like, oh, like we actually got all of the top USA players. And this year, I mean, I'm hard pressed to think of who turned them down. Like pretty much everyone's like, we got LeBron, we got Kevin Durant, we got Steph Curry, we got like some of the younger guys too. It's just really cool. It's like watching an NBA All-Star game where players are trying. Like
Arthur, let the old men tell you about 92. Let's talk about the 92 Dream Team. That's what we grew up on. See?
I don't think people have talked about that one enough. So yeah,
I don't think
talk about that.
We don't talk about the 92 Dream Team enough. Y'all, we're going to have Olympic coverage, so some more music. The opening ceremony. Okay, first off, I was watching Olympics like y'all were 2 days before the Olympics started.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was sevens rugby. Now, Pitt Girl, you told me to get into this.
Yes.
And you know what? You were absolutely correct.
I often am. I am immensely pleased to have been correct in this situation.
Like watching Paul Johnson football.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S.
Paul Johnson football on speed. We got Paul Johnson football on speed.
The U.S.'s first game, they tie France 12-12. Gold medal winners, France. So technically, the U.S. counts this. I'm throwing this on
victory.
Yep, I'm throwing this on
gold medal for the United States.
We are 2016 Pitt with a win over Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct. Good, you got the vibe right.
Right.
The final of that, France beats Fiji, a relatively large upset. Fiji has never lost a game at the Olympics ever in this event.
They were 17-0 in this event until this final, which when we celebrated it, there were some people in the pods that were like, there was homecoming for the French. I was like, now I'm imagining the ref with Ratatouille underneath his hat. Just like, no, that was a knock on, clearly.
Commish, your beveled cock was so good.
Thank you. Hey, you were really...
Was it a beveled cock?
For the French rugby logo, yes.
Absolutely. It was great.
Is it, how do you say that in French?
I don't know. But it had good ridges to it.
Is it like Coke or
No, it's Coke.
Coke?
Because the coq au vin is the dish.
Okay.
So there was pre-Olympics, but they made a big deal that no one could be eliminated before the the opening ceremony, which was sort of the case.
No.
No.
They weren't eliminated. They still had to play games afterwards, even though I think it was an 11th and 12th place game or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I will say, watching Fiji manhandle the U.S., that was the first time I was like, oh, we're playing a different sport. This is not the same thing. Because the Fijian dudes were absolutely just bodying our guys. We also had a 38-year-old out there. Come on. Did great. Had 4 tries, I think, in the game against Uruguay. It was great. But 38, God. Y'all, we need to get to... Oh, Joey's with us. Joey did make it. Yay, Joey.
That was a fist fight with Rogers Telecoms over the phone, but I am here.
You're breaking up, and you need to turn down your volume slightly.
Is that better?
That was better, yes. So I do want to talk about the opening ceremony, because this filled me with lots of real human emotions. Now, I will say that, listeners, if you watched the cut at the end, like the evening cut, you got to go back and get the original.
Yes.
It's not, well, they did cut a lot of shit. And even the original shit cut a lot of things. A whole part in diversity that NBC was like, nope, snip.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to NBC for being like, we're going to give you like 2 seconds of the statues of French women in history, many of whom had to do with women's right to choose. And we're just going to not really show you that.
We're going to cut all this, yeah.
Great decision, NBC.
Also,
love to see it.
Also, the introduction of the refugee team got like snipped. But besides all this, the opening ceremony was so goddamn French. Like aggressively French.
That's what you want in your home country's opening ceremonies, right? Though,
right. I want to go around the circle and talk about the most French thing you saw in that opening ceremony. For me, it was probably the tribute to threesomes. I think that's what it was. The mime threesomes. That was probably my favorite thing. Yeah. Pitt Girl.
As John Fraser called it, the Calgary Common Law.
We do truly love nerds then hooking up and having a threesome. That was great. Thank you, France. My favorite part, my favorite aggressively French part was probably towards the beginning, like around the time that Lady Gaga went on. There was a shot of a bunch of people just like running up a sidewalk. And one of them was a woman in a pink dress, like encrusted in giant croissants.
Okay.
Croissant lady really nails the French spirit, I think.
Joey, what was your most aggressively French thing you saw?
Well, I can't go with the big capper because Celine Dion not French, but I really loved the headless Marie Antoinette leading into Gojira, a death metal band, and an opera singer on a long ship floating by. It was just such a feast for the senses all at once that, well, in the same way that eating a chili pepper is a feast, it was a lot all at once.
Commish, what was your most aggressively French thing you enjoyed?
I grew up in New Orleans. This all seemed normal.
Okay, that is, you know what? Yep, true.
This just felt it's like Mardi Gras. I'm like, what? Everybody's like, oh, it's just shocking, and I'm like, this is the Bacchus parade on Sunday night. What the hell?
There's some mimes skateboarding and breakdancing. That's like Tuesday.
I see that in the French Quarter on a Thursday. What's going on?
Accordion guy with angel wings.
I mean, guaranteed. You'd see that on, like, you would possibly see that costume entered into the costume contest on Fat Tuesday. Like I'm watching, like, you're all going over these things, and I'm like, I'm like looking highlights on, like, Googling stuff. I'm like, what's all? I'm like, nothing came to mind. It felt normal.
I'm looking for the joke here, but I can't quite remember the term, so Commish is gonna have to fill it in for me. But when you're watching the boats go by on the Seine, are you on sidewalk side or street side? Something like that?
Sidewalk side or the neutral ground side. Yes,
neutral ground. Okay.
Right. They do have boat parades too in Louisiana, but boat Mardi Gras parades too. So they're a little bit outside of New Orleans on, like, the North Shore, or sometimes they're even like further south by, like, Nichols or like Thibodeau. They're on like the Chafunkta River in Tangipahoa Parish, all over the place around there. There's actual boats, and I was like, "There's a boat parade." I'm like, "This is normal."
Arthur, what was your most aggressively French moment you enjoyed?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know that much about France. Like, I've never been to France. Pretty much all my reference points are from movies. So, like, there was one point in the opening ceremony where I saw a building. I was like, "Yo, that was in a Mission Impossible movie." Tom Cruise skydives onto that building. And
when you said movie, I thought it was gonna be the Minions. You're like, I got those.
Right.
I recognize the fucking Minions.
I mean, honestly, I've never seen any of those movies. I do recognize the Minions from Facebook, but no, I like just action movies because, like, I learned everything I know about Paris is from people getting chased through Paris in movies. Yeah. So whether it's like Jason Bourne, like Mission Impossible,
Tom
like
Hanks.
John Wick went to Paris in the most recent one. Didn't see any of that in the opening ceremony.
From Paris with Love with John Travolta.
I liked so the one thing that got me with it was all the boats, right? Because like normally the athletes just like walk in and they just go kind of in alphabetical order, and it's not like a big deal. Like there are some countries that are next to each other in the alphabet that don't like each other, but like generally they're able to be pretty chill about like like it's not like that. But for the boats, it was that like logic problem where you have to get like a fox, a hen, and like some wheat across a river in a boat, and you can only take 2 things at a time. Like that was the opening ceremony for me right there. The other thing I really liked, I don't know if this counts as French because it was an Italian guy. It was the Italian, I think, flag bearer actually. So this might be more Italian than French, but the Gianmarco Tamberi, the I think high jumper, he's been in a couple NBA Celebrity All-Star games. That's how I know who he is. But he dropped his wedding ring in the Seine. So that, I guess that's more Italian than French. I don't know, but that was like my Olympic opening ceremony highlight.
So the best part about him dropping his wedding ring in the Seine, though, is not just that he dropped it, but that he wrote a lengthy, like aggressively Italian, like romantic letter and then posted it on social media for his wife about the fact that he lost his ring, to the point that he was like, you can bring your ring here and we can throw it into the Seine and they can be together forever. Yeah. Like just so European. So like aggressively Italian in every possible way. I do want to jump back also to the boat opening ceremony.
Yeah, let's talk about the boats.
Number one, I agree with Arthur and appreciate the like sort of problems that the boat parade created. To the, like NBC openly acknowledged being like, hey, so France had to make sure that Iran and Iraq were not on the same boat because that creates problems. But some of the boats having multiple nations on them was fun. Like Italy and Jamaica were on the same boat, and that boat was the party boat. That boat was the good vibes only boat. Like Italy was cheering super hard, and then Jamaica started singing while they went by the camera. Like 10 out of 10. That was great.
We did this during the World Cup when we had the matchups. We were trying to make fusion restaurants, and I think the Italian Jamaican fusion restaurant is the next big thing.
Agreed.
So, oh my god.
The best part about this for me was that in the previous opening ceremonies, you get this, we are in the stadium and we're going to bring the country to you. London 2012, Rio 2016, we're going to build these things up. And France was just like, nah, fuckers, we're in Paris. We're just going to like float you by actual things in Paris. And we're going to look at the city. Now, I am going to, other things about the boat parade. First off, NBC, I did not need to be cut back to the U.S. boat so many times, but that's just NBC's issue. The other thing is the Nepalese flag.
NBC
in their Chiron posts a picture of the Nepalese flag, which, if you know, is glorious and is a pennant with a non-transparent white background, which is like my biggest pet peeve. It drives me up the wall. And when I saw this, I about lost my shit.
You guys are in some partial company. CBC, when they showed that part of the boat parade, what they were doing when they cut the commercial is, I don't know if NBC did this as well. They kept the parade going in the top left while the
yes.
So, but what they also did is during the actual graphics, they had like coming up next flags.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't remember the exact order, but for example, if it were in English, it would be like Canada would be up, and then in the corner would be like coming up next Chile or whatever, like whoever would have been next. So, and I can't remember who was before Nepal, but they were up, and then it showed the Nepalese flag next, and it had the NBC Nepalese flag, but then it cut to commercial before Nepal came up, and the world feed was up in the top left. So they avoided the main disaster. They had the world feed, which had the actual Nepalese flag, but briefly they did have the what I'll call the NBC Nepalese flag in the top left. So it wasn't just NBC. You can take solace in that.
Now, Pitt Girl, I need you to describe the plot of the opening ceremonies to me.
No.
I need you to describe the plot to me, because there was a plot. There was a torchbearer who was Mr. Assassin's Creed.
Yes. We have faceless torchbearer, masked torchbearer,
who gets in a boat with kids at the beginning. I wasn't sure about that.
And I was watching this live while doing other things, so I like kind of missed some of the plot. But the general thrust of the plot is we've got masked torchbearer running through Paris, like up and over roofs and under things and through things. And also the Mona Lisa has been stolen.
By who, Pitt Girl?
Various people. I don't.
No,
so
you missed this. The Minions stole it.
Well, no, I saw that part, but so it was canonically that the Minions stole it. I
believe
thought they ended up with it.
Somehow. No, I think they were, because it was a round hole, so I think they stole it.
Okay. So yes, there was like a 2 or 3 minute interlude with the Minions also, which I really enjoyed. Our Discord being like, what the fuck is going on? Is this NBC doing this? No, Illumination Studios is French. They did this on purpose.
I do like that at least some of like there were people that called like NBC is going to shoehorn Minions in, and it didn't end up being NBC, but like it's funny that I don't think maybe some people knew that it was French, but like that was like the one thing that was there that people joked about being there that like we really weren't actually expecting to be there.
It was a hell of a cold shot for sure.
Well, now that I know they're French, the Minions humor makes a fuck ton more sense.
Yes.
Like all of a sudden, like, oh, this is like Jerry Lewis shit. I get this now. French love this weird shit. Got it. I get this now. Man, my kid went through that phrase. Remember that show I told you about the boy that turns into a cat costume? Yeah. Man, it all makes fucking tons of sense now. We also end up, all the boats go down and they go to a temporary stadium. They're using the beach volleyball stadium, which is right in front of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower, it looks great. And so they do all this. All the countries get in there. And then all of a sudden, for 20 minutes, we are treated to the masked dude on a robotic horse in the water. It looks like the opening of Westworld, and they were having to kill time, basically. Mm-hmm. They need to get everyone off the boats and everything. And so they cut in with a bunch of like old clips of the Olympics, which is great. I like that part. This was a bit long, but then all of a sudden he gets off the mechanical horse, gets on a real horse, and like the flags are folding in as they walk into the stadium. It looks gorgeous. The stadium has this like Eiffel Tower stage. It's all beautiful. And in the evening version where they cut all that, it actually affects the pacing. And it's wild to say that because it drags so much live. And all of a sudden I was like, oh no, without all this stuff, like the pacing feels off. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I watched that part live and then I caught the very end of the rebroadcast because I went to a sprint car race at Williams Grove Friday evening. Forgot to mention that when you asked me how I was. But I came back and they cut all of that and I really enjoyed the part when it was live broadcasting where NBC was like, what the fuck is going on? Because they brought the torch into the stadium and they did some stuff and like all the people from the IOC and whoever made all the speeches. And then they brought the torch back out of the stadium and they put it on a boat with like Rafa Nadal and Serena Williams and Nadia Comaneci and somebody else who I'm forgetting. Carl Lewis. Sorry, Carl Lewis. And they're going back up the Seine the other direction on a boat. And that like, it's like a couple miles to where they were going. And NBC is like very clearly just kind of killing time. And then they get to where they're going, and where they're going is the Tuileries. And at the Tuileries there are, it's the Louvre first, and they're like, they go around the loop at the Louvre, and there's a bunch of like French Olympians who are big deals, but NBC is clearly struggling to figure out who most of them are.
They knew who Tony Parker was. They knew who Tony Parker was because he's played basketball in the States. Everyone else, they were like having to pull file folders on.
Mm-hmm. And like French Paralympians too, and they're all dressed in white, and they like hand the torch off to each other, and it becomes a group of Olympians like walking towards where the cauldron is. Very cool. They cut a bunch of that in the rebroadcast, which I was kind of upset about. Like, they cut the Paralympians getting to actually hold the torch. They don't introduce them in the rebroadcast. But then you, as the live viewer, are like, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Who are these people? Because you've got 20 French Olympians, right? And then you come up and you've got the 100-year-old oldest living French Olympian, and you see the hot air balloon in the background. And like, I had a lot of feelings about that live, and I think it was better having had half an hour of like, what the fuck is going on before you get there.
Very like minimalist music. Like it's the length of it that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And then the thing lifts off, and you mentioned God bless NBC trying to hold this together, because Peyton Manning, y'all.
What were we doing with Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson on the call for this?
So Kelly Clarkson was good. Like, she was a good fit for that.
She was reacting like she was color commentary, doing the reaction. Like, the problem is that I'm not sure the French folks gave anyone notes. And so then you have Peyton Manning trying to interpret French history or trying to describe things, and it's not working.
Yeah, Peyton Manning was kind of struggling because I feel like a lot of a number of times he tried to cut in and be like, oh, like there's an athlete I recognize and can actually like tell you a fact about. And like, I feel like his analysis is very like, even like when he actually does like sports broadcasts, where his analysis is very like I'm very smart. I've studied this. Like, I did my homework on who this is. And like, he just couldn't do that for the opening ceremony. Kelly Clarkson was good though. Like, I saw people kind of complain, like, why is Kelly Clarkson like doing this? Like, what does she know about like the Olympics? And then like the openings, like the ceremonies are mostly about performing, right? Like, they're mostly about the performances. And like, that is something that I think Kelly Clarkson has some expertise in.
I mean, I thought her commentary on Celine Dion was great. But for a lot of the rest of it, it was just like, this is a weird group of people.
It's always going to be that though. Like, who is NBC going to call up that it's like, oh, yep, this person, like Olympic ceremony expert?
I think if you had built the booth around any of the three main commentators, you could have built something good there. But individually, it was like you had different pieces of individual booths that didn't have a lot of chemistry, from what I can tell. I didn't watch the whole NBC coverage, obviously. CBC coverage is the same people they do have opening ceremony regulars. They have the same people do the opening ceremony every year or every Olympics. So they knew what they were doing. But NBC, I think they did fine with what they did from the clips I've seen, but it did sound like it was three parts of three different booths from three different shows that they just threw together, which is kind of what they did.
You also have this issue of Peyton Manning. When you're a hammer, everything you see is a nail. If you're Peyton Manning, everything is a football reference. Like, it's a lot of Super Bowl talk for a fucking Olympic opening ceremony, I'm just gonna say.
There was an aside where they had him with like the fucking play sheet on his wrist, and I was like, why? I hated that so much.
It's raining a lot here in Paris. Reminds me of how it was raining one time when I won the Super Bowl. Like, that's basically.
Shut up, Peyton. This is not about you.
Peyton Manning was football references. Mike Tirico is like, you know the that's Chappie tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Mike Tirico was that for the opening ceremony.
I miss Bob Costas. Mike Tirico is very good, but I miss Bob Costas.
I describe this as, this feels like the Last Jedi of opening ceremonies. It's one man's vision, for better or worse. Someone had a vision, and agree or disagree, it was not by committee. This was like a vision. And I got a feeling that LA 28 is going to be committee by committee, and just, yeah. This was amazing. We go on from there to actual Olympic things. Things that first off, shout out to Gold Zone. Commish mentioned it earlier. Commish, what is Gold Zone?
It's a streaming thing they have on Peacock, which
also on the NBC Sports app.
Also on the NBC Sports app, but they kind of flash to sports in progress as like major moments are happening, kind of like NFL Red Zone a little bit. And they'll go from one sport to another sport to another sport to another sport, just like bam, bam, bam. And then occasionally you get a commercial, which, not the fun of NFL Red Zone. There's no commercials, but you get like different Olympic moments at like the peak of their moment.
Yeah.
And you're not just sitting around watching surfing, waiting for a wave, and then you see somebody's bare ass.
This gold medal alert has been so much fun because the energy they bring to it is great, but also when they cut to different audios, everyone's commentary is so different. So you'll get like the rugby commentary, which is like a lot of screaming, lots of standing up, and then they'll cut to like the tennis commentary. So the sound just drops off entirely, and all you hear is ah, like the fucking tennis sounds. It's great. Yeah.
No, I've been watching, like, when I am at, like, not on the go, right? Like, I wasn't able to watch this on the plane because I wasn't gonna like pay for the Wi-Fi. I don't even know if I can stream it for the Wi-Fi. I just had like the live TV options on the plane. But like when I'm at home, like I'm just throwing Gold Zone on because I don't, like I said, like this is not the Olympics. Like the Summer Olympics are not the Olympics where I know anything about the sports. I don't know anything going in. I don't know who these people are. So having someone shepherd me through, I mean, I the way I would describe it is it's like the college football blitz from Learfield that you can listen to on College Football Saturdays, where you can just throw it on and then it's on for like 10 hours, and you're just getting
you'll get
the best stuff pumped right into you.
You'll get the interesting homework calls too, changed like on the Learfield the blitz too. It just like you'll get the crazy fencing calls, like the one girl jumping up and down like a rabbit to win the gold. That was it. You'll hear different commentary styles. You hear like just to try to match the sport, which is a lot of fun on the Gold Zone. And there been a lot of praise for Peacock, and I'm like, hey, I've been with Peacock for like way too long just because I watch the Premier League, which I mean they're still like 20 seconds behind live action, which is annoying. But I remember the first college football game ever on Peacock, Toledo versus, Notre Dame.
Oh, that's right.
And
yes.
The glow up from 2021 Peacock to now to the Gold Zone. Toledo nearly upsetting Notre Dame. Just could not pull it off at the end.
I would like to take this moment to express on the podcast the ongoing horror that I have felt when NBC goes to commercial and it's the college football commercial and it's Fall Out Boy and like Puddles the Duck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And USC, but also Ohio State and Michigan and all that stuff, because the Big Ten is on NBC now. And that feels bad and wrong. And Oregon being in the Big Ten now also feels bad and wrong. And I hate it. I hate it.
So other things that I have fallen in love with this week. First off, at Olympics, Nicole Arbach, friend of the show, tipped me off to this because she mentioned it, but I didn't have a video of this. But apparently someone's swim cap fell off at one of the swimming events, and a guy came out.
Yes.
A dude with a dad bod and flowery Speedos came in to pull it out, and it was amazing. The crowd apparently went wild. It was delightful. I've decided I'm going to carry a pair of emergency Speedos to every sporting event I go to in case someone needs me to do something. Whether their Speedos are appropriate or not, I will always be there with it.
Back in the 30s, they'd make you the mascot if you did that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Sure.
And so I've decided I'm gonna do this. Emergency Speedos. At the brawl, emergency Speedos, just so you know.
Oh God. Oh no. Although I guess we could like shove you into the Allegheny then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's an emergency Speedo. It's underneath the tearaway pants.
Right. There we go. Wait, so the ball went into the river? I got it.
I have seen people swimming in the Allegheny River while I was tailgating. Like, not part of the tailgate, like just other people were swimming. But
other fun things, I got to watch mountain biking. US came in second in that one. I'd never really seen like their open course mountain biking. That looks like a lot of fun. I saw, let's see here. I've been watching fencing. Handball is my new obsession. I've decided that my kid is going to be a handball person because I feel like making the American team, we're not very good at this. I feel like he's got a shot. And I watched some skating. I found out that for skateboard, the ages on the women's side are insane. There's an 11-year-old in this Olympics, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She was born after the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah, the gold medalist is like 14. I love the Olympic skateboard events because the vibe, and this is also true of surfing, the vibe is just so chill, right? Like, you watch gymnastics and there's a lot of like pressure and there's often crying when someone messes something up, and I understand why. Skateboarding is like, okay, we're going to give you 5 chances. You need to not fall off your deck for 2 of them to do well at this.
And they come
right?
in, someone came in with the biggest ass headphones I've ever seen. Like, she was wearing giant ass headphones.
They just sort of like drop in with like the headphones that I'm currently wearing on. And if you eat shit, like, cool, you tried. Like, even the people who like ate it multiple times just sort of rolled off and were like, yeah, I'm still at the Olympics. It's fine. Like, I need more sports with energy like that. See also the surfer dude who like showed his whole ass on international television and then just sort of like casually paddled away. Like, that's a vibe. Additionally, have you guys
in
seen
Tahiti? He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the clips of Colin Jost?
Yes.
In Tahiti? He's the like designated Tahiti correspondent, just like standing there in his suit jacket and shorts being like, I'm Colin Jost and I'm in Tahiti.
You don't get to be married to Scarlett Johansson and do news from Tahiti. This should not happen.
Apparently he does.
Jesus Christ. I've also been collecting, and I'm going to have out for tomorrow at some point, a collection of all the 4th place finishes. So 2 things happen here. I'm going to ask your question on this first, y'all, because I asked about medal tables. I don't know if you know the controversy about how medal tables are sorted. The IOC sorts by gold medals.
Yep.
And then gold, silver, bronze. All US based sources sort by total medals.
Yeah.
And I asked our Twitter followers, what's the best way to do this? We had over 1,000 or over 3,000 responses. And it was like 55-45 saying that they preferred total medals because they're all US homers.
And the reason that it's not totally just homerism, totally just bias. There is some logic to it, but the reason why American sources like to go for total medals is that they have a lot more athletes. They'll throw in a lot more bronzes and silvers. Whereas if you go by total golds, then you get, like we saw, I think Kazakhstan had a gold. Yep. They were at the top of the medal table for a while.
Yeah, I watched the Kazakhstan won judo, I think. That was a weird match. And then my kiddo tried to imitate judo. And I'm like, no, put on rugby. Tackle the damn.
So someone suggested
foam roller.
They suggested though that I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this math, that we do a points table for this.
Yes, this is the right way of doing this. This is how you square the circle.
Okay, so,
if you do like 5-3-1 or something like that.
Okay, is that what you're saying? Because
I'm fine with that. I mean, I don't know how like points tables usually work, but like I think that makes sense. It's like, okay, you get a lot for a gold, you get a good amount for a silver, you get a point for a bronze, and then you
the options that have come up are 3-2-1, 4-2-1, and 5-3-1. And right now, I have a poll going right now on Twitter. Let's see.
The one I voted for is the lowest.
The 4-2-1? Okay,
yeah.
That's also the one that I prefer. So I might just say fuck the poll and do it the way I wanted to.
The thing is, Commish, mine is actually lower because I voted for other because I like 5-2-1.
Oh,
I think you should get. I think you should get a lot more for a gold than a silver.
I see 621. I see someone suggested 18-12-6 because it's the same as 3-2-1, but more numbers. I like that.
I voted for 4-1-2. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, second place, first loser. What about it?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be doing medal tables for fourth place finishes, and I will be doing medal tables. I am going to do a weighted points medal table as well. I feel like these are good things to have.
Jordan, they're showing mountain biking on the like NBC live recap, right? Or the NBC like evening recap right now. And you're right, this does look fun.
It does. Like they go on this. So the best part about that was apparently the U.S. team trained in Bentonville, Arkansas, because, quote, it was a lot like the Paris course. And that's the only time I've ever heard Bentonville, Arkansas in the same sentence as Paris.
The Paris of Arkansas.
I was going to say maybe Bentonville, Arkansas and Paris, Texas have been listed in the same.
Okay. I mean, again, we saw the Arkansas flag at the Tour de France. Mm-hmm. France is embracing the hog. Embrace the hog.
Now, we did bring Joey on here because there's some Canada news. Canada cheating, Paul.
So I like, he said he wanted to come on. I was like, all right, yes, let's get him on. And then he's having to fight with this internet provider. I was like, the Canadian government was trying to silence Joey.
So this all started
the scandals
because New Zealand caught Canada flying drones over the women's team, caught Canada flying drones over there. And then the last couple of days, it's been a bunch of countries going like, oh yeah, we knew Canada was doing this. And we told them to fucking stop it.
Yes. So the news the rough timeline is New Zealand reports there's some drones flying over and they find the guy flying it. He's a unaccredited, like basically what the analyst on the Alabama sideline for Team Canada. Like he's not a actual coach. He just works for the team.
So he's like a Connor Stallion.
He's Connor Stallion.
Oh, he's the Canadian Connor Stallion.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And the difference between him and Connor Stallions is he gets arrested for illegal drone flying. So that's the only reason that this leaks at all, because I think genuinely, if it hadn't leaked, it would have continued with, hey, knock that shit off. But he gets arrested for illegal drone flying. So questions are raised. What the fuck was that guy doing? So it turns out, which is a fun thing to say, he was a direct report to an assistant coach who is obviously the direct report to Bev Priestman, the head coach. And at first, you get the Jim Harbaugh defense. Bev had nothing to do with it. And Bev takes a self-imposed 1-game suspension. That story quickly turns, actually, I believe, during the New Zealand game, which Canada ended up winning 2-1. They went down early. They came back and won. During the New Zealand game, the news turns where not only was Bev aware of it, it had been going on for about 6 years with both the women's and men's teams.
And I'm just spitballing here. Canada's been pretty good the last couple of years, haven't they?
So I am going to offer a quick defense.
Please do.
I mentioned this earlier in the chat when Canada defeated France. I feel this is how Michigan fans felt. It feels great. I get it now, but there isn't actually much you can do with drone flights and like illegally obtained practice footage when it comes to soccer. You can get injury reports and you can maybe pick up what they do off free kicks. That's about it. My favorite theory, I forget who floated this in the Discord, but so Canada Soccer has had money issues for the last decade or so.
Right. And
the suggestion I've seen is this was their way to avoid hiring scouts.
Okay.
But so over the last couple days, that has been going on. Yesterday, after the New Zealand game, the FIFA imposed a 6-point penalty on Team Canada for these games. That's suspended Bev Priestman for a year. It is so many points, and the max you can get is 9.
Yeah. So what does this mean? Because I have no idea. Like, is that like in a game or in like how does
what it means is basically in the table. So they're in a group right now with three other teams, and you get 3 for a win, 1 for a tie, 0 for a loss.
Mhm.
So whatever their score is at the end, it's that minus, wherever their points are, it's that -6.
So they can go undefeated and like they can win all of their games. Theoretically have 9 points. They automatically get -6. The long and the short of it is that it is going to be basically impossible for Canada to advance.
Without some weird ass math.
So we're getting some weird ass math coming up. I'll lay out. There is a path here, but basically after the New Zealand game, Canada was 1-0 with -3 points.
Yep.
You mentioned the Canada being pretty good at soccer over the last 6 years. John Herdman, very shockingly, left Team Canada last year to go join a bottom-dwelling Toronto FC. Now there are questions about where this started, and the broad theory is that John Herdman's career path is he went from New Zealand's women's coach to Canada's women's coach to Canada's men's coach to Toronto FC coach. The broad theory that I've seen suggested, and I'll leave out the conspiracy theories, this is just what is known, is that this was likely started by someone within his staff when he was still with the women's team. And then when Bev took over, she didn't really put a stop to it. Whether she used the tape at all, that's neither here nor there. There has been a leak from a former Team Canada player on the men's side who is no longer on the Canadian team. It's based off when things happened. It is pretty obvious who it is, but it's not confirmed, so I won't say. Has said that he personally was shown footage from Honduras's practice in 2016, and as a lifelong Canadian soccer fan, good. Anything you can do to beat Honduras. I hate Honduras's soccer team so much.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that.
Those Honduran and Canadian hatreds run deep.
Yeah, God, CONCACAF has weird rivalries.
Genuinely. So that's all that's known. There is something with the Canadian psyche with the Olympics. Do you guys remember, you guys may have been around at the time, I was not. Do you guys remember Ben Johnson?
Yeah, he beat Carl Lewis.
Yes, and ended up testing positive for a lot of things.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Canada took that really hard as a nation because, as I mentioned on this podcast before, the entire thing about Canadian pride is what are we better than the Americans at?
Yeah.
Hockey.
So when we had that, we had Ben Johnson, he was a national pride. And then when the steroid scandal broke, that for certain generations that hit the psyche of Canada really hard. So there are certain people that no matter how silly the scandal is and how honestly not much they could have gained from it, it was kind of stupid that they did it to begin with. They heard Canada Olympic scandal and immediately pumped the brakes, disowned the team, told them they should drop out of the tournament, all that. Would it surprise you to learn that I disagree with this take?
Yeah.
Again, stupid. There's not much they could have gained from it anyway. From like everyone I've talked to who's played soccer, what were they getting out of this?
What was Michigan getting out of Connor Stallions, honestly? Probably more than they were getting out of this, but still not enough to make a meaningful difference, I don't think.
So there is one thing I wanted to note that came out the other day. This is probably the funniest part of the scandal. Someone looked at the job postings on Canadian soccer. There was a job posting that's been up since February that was never filled for a performance analyst for the women's national team. Here are the qualifications needed. Bachelor's degree in sport, proven track record working as a performance analyst within a football environment, able to demonstrate experience combining data skill set and tactical understanding, able to operate a drone.
Yep. Okay.
So
I'll put that on my resume now.
They kind of lost a lot of benefit of the doubt there.
Operator.
That's kind of where they lost all the benefit of the doubt there. They took the 6-point hit.
Could they put like that as like the preferred requirements instead of like the requirements? Like, it's like, hey, requirements, you need a bachelor's, preferred master's of drone flying.
As a Pablo Torre finds out listener, I don't even think that this is the biggest like Olympic scandal going down in terms of like Olympic cheating.
Oh no.
No, but it might be the funniest.
What do you think is the biggest one right now?
Well, I don't if any of you have heard the episode he did on saber fencing, Like,
Oh yeah.
that's just some crazy stuff. Like, at least with this, you can kind of still like watch the games and be like, oh yeah, like I can see what's happening. You know?
Gotcha.
The one thing with the Canadian women's soccer team now is that they beat New Zealand in the first game 2-1.
Yep.
Heavy underdogs against France in game 2. They just won.
Yeah.
2-1 as well.
A late winner. So they technically have 2 wins. They sit third in their table,
With 0
in their
points.
group. They play Colombia next. If they beat Colombia, they will have 3 points. That would push Colombia down to at least second, depending on what France does against New Zealand. So Canada has a path to get out still, but they gotta win.
And if they get out of that group, if they get second, which is what would likely happen if they beat Colombia, they would be second. France would be first. And if I may just confirm it here.
Yeah, 1B, 2C, right?
No, they actually, because 3 get out of most
3
groups.
Get out. Okay,
They
so
get
it would not be U.S. Canada likely.
They would get
in
the
knockout.
2 out of. They would get the 2 out of USA's group, which I believe is Australia, the very team that knocked them out of the last World Cup.
There you go.
So this is very much a movie happening right now.
Side note, I do want to take a second to shout out Australia's women's soccer team, which was down like 5-0 to Zambia and then came back and won 6-5 today.
5-2. That
5-2?
I was gonna mention that too. But yeah, you beat me to it. So yeah, that was an absolute banger of the game. Zambia was up 5-2. There was a I think it was a Barbara Banda. She had a hat trick in the first half for Zambia. But Australia came back and they won it in the 90th minute, 6-5, which is a banger to live in the ages of the Olympic sport. That was incredible.
There was also the issue of Argentina Mexico, the very first game.
Morocco,
sorry, where
Close.
basically Morocco is up 2-1.
Yeah,
and Argentina gets a goal in a large amount of extra time. It was like
yes. So there
16 minutes.
There was a couple of different stoppages throughout this game, which was ridiculous. Like there was like stuff thrown on the field by Moroccan fans that were not pleased with the refs whatsoever, and it was just very like hostile towards the refs. And they give Argentina 12 minutes of stoppage time, which is incredible. Like typically stoppage time or extra time, they'll tack on maybe like 5 minutes. But the Olympics, they've been giving you like 7 or 8. This one's 12. So Argentina scores a game-time goal. It's 2-2. And then the Moroccan fans invade the pitch. And so they blow it, and everybody seems to think that the game's over. Everybody's like, oh, it's over. It's whatever. It's done. It's a 2-2 tie. He called the game. The game is over. Actually, that didn't happen. He just basically stopped the play because there was still like 3 minutes left in stoppage time or whatever. He stopped the game, like basically, which rarely happens. He stopped the clock completely. Then he has both teams come back out on the field to do a VAR check. And he waves off the Argentinian goal by a toe for being offside. So Morocco hangs on to win the game 2-1, which is
now. When did this
insane.
game end, though?
Like 3 hours.
Like 3 hours
before. This was even before the opening ceremony.
Yep.
Yeah, this was what, like Wednesday?
This was like the first game.
It was the first
day
game.
of
it was the
games,
first men's game. Yeah. Anyways, the Olympics is great. We're gonna keep watching this.
Can I just add one last thing that I really like about this Olympics is the time zone. Like the past few Olympics have been in terrible time zones for like US viewing. I love events in this specific time zone, like roughly, because you have like the actual events during the day, and then NBC can do their whole primetime show as just like recaps and like, here's what we show you, right? I feel like that works a lot better than when there's actual like live stuff getting primetime NBC treatment. Because like the primetime NBC stuff, like I'm totally down with like that's not for us.
Yeah, right.
Like that's and so like it's annoying when there's like live stuff that like I actually want to watch that gets wrapped up into that. But like this time zone, all of the like stuff for the sickos, right? Everything we're watching the live stuff. We're watching Gold Zone. That's all during the day, and it's kind of quarantined from that like real NBC primetime zone.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do kind of like when the games are in like Asia or Australia and you've got like Rowdy Gaines losing his mind in prime time for everyone to see.
Yeah.
That is the kind of thing that does get put again in the recap, so it's fine. But you are also right, especially for those of us who have day jobs who oftentimes allow us to be like streaming some stuff in the background. This is a vibe also.
Oh yeah, it's perfect background viewing, and that's why I kind of like watching the Premier League, especially like I mean, you wake up, you eat breakfast, and you got sports on, which I'm sure people who live in the Pacific time zone they're used to that already. But just doing that, I mean, if you really want to wake up at like 3 a.m. in the morning, like watching gymnastics is like, oh my god, take my calf, Simone Biles. But totally, you could do that, and it's just background viewing, and it's done at like 4 p.m. Like Central. It's just done, and then if you want to watch it again, okay, wait 2 hours
or
and
watch different things. You get to watch the stuff that you didn't watch. No, it is. Yeah. I like that a lot. The only college football thing I would want to talk about was that Dan Lanning wants to take the giant Oregon Duck to different things, and I think he should absolutely allowed to.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so anchor that at Pitt. Put the duck in the Ohio. I want to see it.
I want to see this. So I wanted to do this. Like Dan Lanning says that we're mighty different. I hope we get to take that big floating duck to all of our away games. We're innovative. I'm like, okay, he's innovative. Oh, okay. So I had to look up the Oregon schedule. So on September 14th, they are at Oregon State, which just looking at Corvallis itself, they could really have it really simply right there in the Willamette River. That's no problem. I think the Oregon State fans would probably pop that duck like nothing. No, like I don't think it would survive. Whatever you want to shoot at it, they all have like blow darts or something, and just popping the balloon. They will totally do that. It will not survive the Oregon State game. I'm just gonna say that.
They'll take a chainsaw to it.
If it guaranteed, they probably don't even need to do that, but they just throw some rocks at it. Whatever. It will not survive the Willamette River in Corvallis if they do bring it there. But if somehow it does, they play UCLA in Pasadena after that. After their, I'm trying to figure out what body of water is in Pasadena.
Not a whole lot.
Not much, right? So I'm trying to figure out. I tried to go back and see the map of Pasadena, and they're just like, no, there's just like dry creek bridges. I think the only thing that I can find reliably is the Los Angeles River that may or may not be full.
Yeah. Oh well, we've definitely had discussions on the LA 2028 on what that's going to look like. My favorite suggestion was everyone comes in different lowriders.
That would take forever. You can't fit that many people in a lowrider, or you do it like clown cars.
The boats took a long time too, man.
Are we talking Team USA's in a stretch lowrider?
Yeah, no, it's just a long ass lowrider.
They got like 500 athletes. Like how many cars would you need?
The suspension is going to be problematic here, Jordan. You haven't thought this through at all.
Oh, it's going to be dragging ass. Entirely dragging ass.
It definitely will be. So they play at Purdue. They go to West Lafayette. It is the Wabash River. They can do that if you want to bring it there. Purdue fans are like, just bring. I think somebody did the. He was like, get ready to learn Wabash River, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're at Michigan. I don't know what rivers and like what body of water is in Ann Arbor.
There's lots of water in Ann Arbor. Like there's lots of lakes and shit. So
okay. So I mean, there's got to be like water around there. But let's see here, Ann Arbor by the Gerald Ford Library. Let's just say it's the Huron River. You could do that. Then at Wisconsin in Madison. So that's the last trip that the Duck could make.
There's like a couple big lakes in Madison. Like downtown Madison is on an isthmus, helpfully named the Isthmus.
Ooh.
Between Lake Mendota and Lake Monona. And the University of Wisconsin is like very close to the lakeshore of Lake Mendota. So there's options here.
So let's do ads and then we'll get to our next part. As always, visit our Linktree and our Twitter and Instagram profiles to see all of our discount codes and things like that you can help us out with and help yourself out with too. For $5 a month, you can join our Patreon, which gives you access to our Discord, which includes things like our weekly ratings debate and live chat during the season. Also, we have research projects that people help with, suggest podcast segments, things like that. You get access as well to our paywall podcast, including Commish's Corner, Yes, Rah, 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 Yes, and the just finished Prairie View Chronicles.
That's all right. If you want to binge, if you're into the binging of podcasts, you have a 7-part podcast series about the 80-game losing streak of the Prairie View A&M Panthers. It's complete there with our friend Blue from the Feed Your Mascot podcast.
We have our merch store, sickoscommittee.org. We're adding new things to it all the time. I just added, I think like 4 t-shirts today, 3 or 4 hats, a glass, and I don't know, something else. But I just added like 10 items today. We also have our YouTube channel, which includes our shorts. Check that out. Our Instagram, our Twitch, where we are now streaming things. Commish streams every once in a while. I'm going to start streaming more this week, so I have some time. We have our Substack, including our season previews on there as well. We've got the NEC, SoCon, and Pioneer for this week.
Yeah, when you posted the SoCon graphic with like 19.5% of all of FBS was in the SoCon, every single quote, almost every single comment on Instagram was SoCon D's nuts.
Okay.
Sure. So I wasn't ready for this, and then apparently one of the Instagram filters like automatically hid somebody saying that, and then someone's like, "You got hidden," and I was like, "So I'm gonna unhide this."
Yeah, of course.
No, we did no, whatever. Go ahead. SoCon D's nuts. It's fine.
Pin it.
Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. Think of the places we refuse to go.
Okay, pin it.
And then lastly, Sickos Committee and Home Field Apparel, our favorite shirts, the softest, comfiest shirts. Arthur is wearing his Northern Arizona shirt. Our UTSA ones are coming in this week, so I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Stock up for the season. Use offer code YES, ha ha ha, yes, 3 ha's, for 15% off your first order. Commish, will you do the intro for our
All
previews?
right. Yeah, totally. Let's go ahead and do this. So this is the Super Sicko Spitting Selection Season Preview Forecast. The SSSSSPF, aka the 5 SPF. We got 99 questions, but a preview ain't one. Let's hope this picker
Lost you again.
Yep.
Lost you in the middle of a sentence.
He got too dang fired up about the Ivy League.
Lost you again.
You muted?
Yep, muted yourself.
Ow.
Now you sound like you're like 40 feet away. I don't know what's going on.
You guys can't see this, but what
Can't hear you either.
What you're hearing from Commissioner's mic right now is him being attacked by several masked intruders right now.
How about now?
You're fine now.
Yes.
He's fought him off.
Yes.
I would, before we get
This
into
cord that I got for the microphone from Amazon is getting a 1-star review. I'm just going to say that.
before we get into the Ivy League, I do have a story I want to tell you guys about this.
Oh God, is it a frat story?
Sort of.
Okay, that's on the wheel, by the way.
Okay, so...
Did I tell you what happened the other day? I saw a brown horse by the side of the road, walking all alone with a goat. I hopped out of my car and I asked the horse, how'd y'all get out of here all by yourself?
Oh, he's doing
the horse
the
said, well,
thing.
I was out here with my owner, but he fell off. He's a fat guy who used to be royalty. He weighs a Prince ton. Well, do you want a snack, I asked? I have some Harvard cheese in my car. No, thanks. I think we'll just wait for our owner to get back. Well, do you need me to call him? Well, I don't think Prince Umberto would answer his phone, but we'll try. You have a pen I can write down his number with? Oh, Prince Umberto? Well, yeah, I know him. I always called him by his nickname. Anyways, I'll call BU, Prince Columbia. Columbia. You'll have to give him his password so he knows it's us. Our password is a sport that you play at a bar, and the opening you use to talk. Oh, I got it. It's Dartmouth. I was talking to Prince Umby for a few minutes to let him know where his goat and his horse were. He apparently couldn't get there, but he told me to meet him at the agriculture-themed haunted house. It was about a mile away. Cornell, right? That's all 8.
This was Cornell, Jordan.
That was all 8 Ivy League.
Why did you do this?
Pennsylvania.
Team. This is all. I got Penn.
Man, I'm gonna have to figure out some way to like speed up the audio there.
Just hyper pop it.
No, it's my art. Don't mess with the pacing of my art.
I was waiting for him to get to Cornell.
Yeah, Cornell.
I just wanted it to be over.
That one was maybe the least tortured of all of the things, and it was still pretty bad.
It was still pretty bad, yeah.
It was
I was
good.
like, okay, how is it going to work in Cornell?
I think what's best is he was so unconfident about it that he repeated each one 4 times so we got it.
Like,
That's how you know it's a good joke, when you have to make sure that we understand it.
Yeah, he hit us with that.
You know that Yale?
It's good. How'd Yale get all here out by yourself?
You know the Columbia.
Columbia. It's good. It's a good joke. Commish, tell us how the Ivy League shook out last year.
All right, let's do the Ivy League, which was they almost had a chance for like a SICKO's like 5-way tie for the title. They do not do any tiebreakers or anything like that. So the Ivy League is just like, whatever. You got the same record, who cares? Whatever. So there was a 3-way tie for the title between Harvard, Yale, and Dartmouth.
Hell yeah.
That's right. They were all 5-2 in conference. Overall, Harvard was 8-2. Yale was 7-3. Dartmouth was 6-4, but it doesn't matter because they are all your 2023 Ivy League champions.
I love that shit so much.
Princeton 4-3 in conference, 5-5 overall. Penn was 3-4 in conference, 6-4 overall. Brown 3-4 in conference, 5-5 overall. Cornell 2-5 in conference, 3-7 overall. Columbia, not the country, the school in New York, 1-6 in conference, 3-7 overall.
I do want to say that I've been sitting on that pun run for about 2 weeks at this point because I didn't know we were going to do this.
And how many revisions?
So that was the thing, is that you guys might be surprised by this. That burst forth fully formed. I did not go back and edit or fix it.
Oh,
that's a first pass, y'all.
Oh,
you could have fooled me. That was
Our first team we're going to talk about is Brown.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Huh?
Have you seen it? Have you?
You'll be disappointed to know that I don't have one for the rest of the conferences tonight. However, I am working on one for every FBS conference.
All right, let's do this.
No, not again.
That is a threat.
The Big Ten one's going to take an hour.
Yes, it is.
18 of them, yes.
Brown is our first one. And
all right.
Our question is
Bucky's University.
Who's their long snapper?
All right. 2024 Brown
football
roster.
Get some good typing audio in there.
It's giving me 2023.
Yeah, a lot of these schools that I've noticed that don't have scholarships, they do not update their shit. They don't update their stuff, right? Because I was writing the Pioneer, and like half of the schools in the Pioneer Football League does not have anything.
It looks according to ESPN, their long snapper is Michael Davidson.
Okay.
He has a delightful mustache. He's number 49 on Brown's team.
Okay, 49, long snapper, like it.
Looks like he's from Texas. He went to Ronald Reagan High School down at your neck of the woods, Commish.
Ronald Reagan High School. Okay.
He majors in economics at Brown.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
He was a all-district tight end in high school. And he recorded a solo tackle against Columbia last season.
Hey.
Stone City, Texas? Where is that at?
Stone Oak, Texas. According to
I see Stone City, and that is with CBS Sports.
I see Stone Oak.
Brown's official website says Stone Oak, which is in San Antonio.
Oh yeah, it's not a city, it's a neighborhood.
Oh, so he's the rich part of town of San Antonio. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, he goes to Brown. So.
I mean, he does.
Why
San Antonio
Brown?
to Rhode Island.
Why Brown? I chose Brown because the coaches were willing to give me an opportunity that other schools were not willing to give me. I had the best time of my life on my official visit and knew the academics could lead me to a great life. Important to note that the "new" in that sentence is NEW.
Oh.
Are we sure about the academics there, Brown?
I just love how you leave San Antonio and you go to Rhode Island and you're like, you had the time of your life.
Had the time of my life.
He must really like boat shoes.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, there's no water here. Yeah, if he's like, I fell in love with the water. Okay, I'll give you that. Like, because he was living here in a drought, and he goes up to Rhode Island, and there's water everywhere. This is amazing.
In case you do doubt his San Antonio bona fides, though, I found his Twitter. His most recent tweet is from 2023, and it is Tim Duncan, actually the most underrated player of all time.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. The San Antonio to Rhode Island connection is complete.
The pipeline.
And then we jokingly called it Bucky's University. I mean, it's all together now.
Where next up is Colombia, and our question is:
Yeah.
Add up the weights, the kicker. Oh my God! Add up the weights of the kicker, punter, and log snapper, and convert the weight into Vietnamese dong. Jesus.
Okay, I'll pull up the dong converter.
God. Roster. Hey, Columbia's is 2024.
All right. Okay. So give me the weights of. I'll get calculating.
Yeah.
Do we want the backups too, or just the starters?
Just the starters. If you could figure that out.
And we are looking for
kicker, punter, and long snapper.
Kicker, punter, and long snapper. Okay.
So I'm getting William Hughes as the senior.
Okay.
He's 175 as the punter.
175. All right.
Place kicker is probably going to be Matthew Word. He's 170.
170. Okay.
And our long snapper is Aaron Yu, who is 220.
Okay.
From Peachtree Ridge High School in Sewanee, Georgia.
All right. So that's 565 pounds. So
2 billion dong.
Okay. That is 14,300,806 Vietnamese dongs in weight.
That's a lot of dong.
That's a lot of fucking dong. Next up, Harvard, who is under new management for the first time since before I went to college.
Harvard. Oh my God.
Ranking by how much that team improves at the Kibbe Dome.
Oh my God. Just Harvard playing at the Kibbe Dome?
I think it's probably good for Harvard on an experiential learning level to experience and understand a flyover state such as Idaho.
How about this?
And I don't mean that as a knock, Idaho.
Can we just call this Harvard football abroad?
Yeah, I mean
we're on study abroad.
I mean, when these fuckers all get book deals talking about how
they're in Moscow.
Well, when they all get book deals talking about how they spent a year with the poor, unfortunate folks of of Moscow, Idaho. This is what they're going to put on their grad school application.
So
I have a question. Is this putting the whole team's like home schedule at the Kibbe Dome, or is this
the Kibbe Dome,
one neutral site game?
No, the whole schedule.
A whole home schedule in the Kibbe Dome.
So I think they improved because you're flying out the whole Ivy League, who do not travel. No Ivy League team travels.
No.
To Idaho for a game. So I think they do improve by just making this bus league fly out to Idaho for games.
I kind of think they win the Ivy League if they play in the Kibbe Dome.
100%.
I feel like that's the case. Their semester abroad at the Kibbe Dome.
I'm trying to go back in Harvard's schedule to find the last time they played a game outside the Northeast, and I'm already back to
They played San Diego at some point. They went to San Diego.
That was in 2019. That was the season opener, and then they did not leave, unless you count Washington D.C. as a different region, because they went to Howard once.
No, that's still like the greater Northeast. Yeah. Don't at me.
Next up is Princeton.
All right,
Roar Tigers Roar, and their best old mascot. Now I assume Princeton has some weird ass mascot history.
It's 8Ball's grandfather.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great.
There's got to be a weird.
There's great stuff here. I'm just gonna start dropping shit in chat.
Oh my goodness!
Yep, exactly right. It's all good. There's one that looks like it has the mange. There's one that looks like
That's a New Jersey Tiger for sure.
Yeah, this is great.
I found a black and white one here.
There's a tigress with a bow on her head.
I like the one tiger. It's just like just shrugging. I'm just gonna tweet the shrug pic right now.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna. I'm no context tweeting.
I don't fucking know, man. I'm a tiger. What do you want from me?
I mean,
oh, here, Pitt Girl, I got one for you. This is from 57.
Oh, this one.
There we go.
Oh,
a tiger and his date.
sir, what are you, unhand lady?
What about this one? This one definitely isn't a bad idea. It's the mascot tiger petting an actual tiger.
That weirdest day of that tiger's life.
Which one?
Right?
Which tiger? Be specific.
The flesh tiger, not the plush tiger.
Okay.
This has the same energy, but worse, of the picture that I dearly love of Hooter the owl looking curiously at an actual owl.
Uh-huh. Is curious the way you describe that? Because it looks threatening to me.
The tiger picture looks sensual.
This is weird. Okay. Lots of great weird old mascots.
That's perfect.
How about this one? This is a cover for the Brown game where it looks like the tiger is pouring, a cartoon tiger is pouring, I think, poisoned honey into the brown bear's spoon.
The bear looks concerned. I don't think the bear's going to try this honey.
No.
Yeah, okay. There you go, Princeton. You've had some very questionable mascots in the past. Good God. Okay. Next up, we have Yale. And our question is, okay, which Civilization 5 or 6 team win best suits this team, Pitt Girl?
Oh, for Yale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yale is probably a science victory. I can see them also potentially being a diplomatic victory.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're a particular. I've got to think about like what civ they are. I feel like they're probably not a like super interesting civ. They might be France, and I say that mostly because of all of the like skull and bone shit. And in 6, they get extra. Catherine de Medici gets them extra spies, right? And so they can like do all the skullduggery kind of things.
So I wasn't I'm not as big into Civ as y'all are, but my first thought, because I played a lot of Civ 5 in high school, was the Dutch.
Yeah, lots of money. Okay.
I gave South Carolina State Netherlands the last time we were asked this question, because I played a lot of 5 as well in college youth. But because they also they have the ability to they get the gold because they can put farms on swamps, which is something that like no other school can do, or no other civ can do. So
okay. Next school up is Cornell, and our preview question is
Cornell.
Will their coach pull a Scott Satterfield and Jeff Halfley and get a new job before they are fired?
This is the Ivy League. No.
Yeah, I mean, Ivy League jobs are like you get those and you just stay there for life usually.
You just die there.
It's like Cornell's head coach. So Cornell's head coach, this is his first year.
It's his first year. Okay.
He was the quarterback's coach at Johns Hopkins.
Oh God.
Then the quarterback coach at Penn, then was the head coach at Ithaca. And then became head coach.
Hey, go Bombers.
He's sticking around.
He went across the fucking city. That's a big betrayal to go from Ithaca to Cornell.
His playing career, he was a quarterback at Rhodes College.
Okay. Oh fucking hell, yeah.
And then played 1 year with the Darmstadt Diamonds in the German second tier.
Okay, yeah, no, this dude's gonna stay here forever.
No, he'll be in the same region. He's
41 years old. He's gonna be there until he dies.
The Ivy League, a league in which they actually might actually carry you out in a pine box.
I mean, possibly.
Next up is Penn, the Fightin' Quakers.
The Quakers.
Our question is: Jordan imitating Commish every schedule on their stadium. Every
stadium on schedule. You got to imitate me again. I love it.
Yeah, here we go.
This is great.
Football 2024.
Picker wheel is rigged.
Always is.
If a Beth one comes up, I'll do it.
All right. Yeah, we can just make you do everything Canadian accents.
Now I want Penn State schedule.
Yeah, you're gonna have to search like University of Pennsylvania football.
Yeah. Oh man, it sucks. They don't have a Wikipedia article for their schedule this year.
I have it up if you want me to read it out to you.
Yeah, do you have stadium names?
Oh, it just has cities on the team schedule. Interesting.
That's the problem. Well, I'm just
they have it at FBS schedules. FBS schedules. They have it.
I got it. Here we go. Okay. They're at Delaware Stadium, and then Franklin Field, which is their home thing. Then Memorial Field, Then we got. Then they're going to Wine Stadium. And that's actually Robert Kraft Field at Wine Stadium. Then Princeton Stadium. Sholcup Field. That's it. No, sorry, this is Dartmouth. Hold up. Why am I saying Dartmouth schedule?
Yeah, I mean, like you're supposed
Bonus
to go
content.
10.
I got the wrong thing. Sorry. It's Delaware Stadium, then Franklin Field, more Franklin Field, Memorial Field, Brown Stadium, Sholcup Field, and then Princeton Tiger Stadium. And then lastly, it is Dartmouth.
I don't know why that cracks me up every time.
Dartmouth going to win the Ivy League this year, of course. Will I swim in the nearest body? Absolutely. Because the
Have
nearest
you done
body.
it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I have. It's the Connecticut River.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the giant ass Connecticut River. So what you do is you do what they call the Ledyard Challenge. And you get in, because nudity is legal in Vermont, but not in New Hampshire.
Okay.
So you get naked on the New Hampshire side.
Okay.
You swim across, and then you run back across the bridge. Yeah.
I'm just confused about why nudity is not legal in the live free or die state.
Okay, so wait. Nudity is legal on the Vermont side?
Yes.
Okay, so you get naked on the Vermont side.
No. Naked on the New Hampshire side.
Naked
that's
on
the dangerous
New Hampshire,
part.
but that's not legal.
I know.
Okay,
that's
and
the
then
fun
you
part.
swim to
you
the
do
Vermont
the crime.
Side. Yeah, then you swim across.
Okay.
And the problem is the Vermont state line doesn't start until the low water mark on the Vermont side. It isn't halfway through the river.
The low water mark.
There's also the winter Ledyard challenge that fewer people have done is you run across it when it's frozen.
Like a frightened turtle.
And then
great way to blow out your ACL.
The other one also is that a friend of mine in college who started his own catering company to buy whippets in bulk amounts. He put every whippet canister he did into a 5-gallon water like a 5-gallon water jug. He then filled it with water and froze the whippet canisters in there, and then he dropped it through the ice from the bridge.
I haven't seen The Bear, but I think that's what The Bear is about.
Basically.
Sure. Totally.
And Dartmouth wins the Ivy League. That is our Ivy League preview. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yes.
Next up, we have what conference?
The Ivy League of the South. The Southland.
Oh, yes. The Southland Conference.
Conference.
And Commish, how did
Vive la Conference.
How did the Southland shake out last year?
This was quite unique here. So I'm just gonna address this off top. Northwestern basically had to cancel their season due to a really tragic event. So the records sound really weird. And so Northwestern stopped playing due to the death of a player. So the conference records really strange, and they don't match the overall records for some of the teams, but that is the reasoning for that. So I'll just give you the records of the teams that actually finished the season. Nichols won the conference title. They were 7-0 in the Southland. They were 6-5 overall. That's just one reason they got, because
they gave everyone a
win.
They
gave everybody a forfeit win that had not played Northwestern State. UIW 6-1 in conference, 8-2 overall. Lamar 5-2 in conference.
UIW is Incarnate Word.
5-2 in conference, 6-5 overall. Houston Christian, aka Houston Baptist, aka CVS University, 4-3 in conference, 5-5 overall. The Southeastern Louisiana Daiquiri Cats, or just the Lions, 3-4 overall in the conference, and 3-8 overall. I did confirm that they do still sell $5 daiquiris at the football games and at baseball games at Southland Media Days. I confirmed that. Texas A&M Commerce, the Lions, still transitioning up from Division II, 1-5 in the Southland, 1-9 overall. McNeese, 1-6 in the Southland, 0-10 overall. And then the aforementioned Northwestern State.
First up, we have A&M Commerce. What were they going to start calling themselves? Texas A&M at Dallas at Commerce, whatever it was.
The University of Texas Dallas at Commerce.
At Commerce, that's right.
UTDC.
Yeah, they used to be East Texas State. Just go back.
Yeah, just go back to East Texas State. That's fine.
Our question for Commerce is: Is this school more spiritually a Sheets or a Bucky's town? Oh, this is a
This
Bucky's
is
ass town.
obviously
It's
a
the
Bucky's
Bucky's town.
town.
It's Texas. It's
Is
Bucky.
this for commerce?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bucky's.
It would be hard to have a Sheets in this conference.
I mean, but conference realignment, man. Let me tell you.
Oh no,
I mean,
man. I
also
don't know.
there are Sheetses in like North Carolina, and I think there may be I know there's Wawa in Florida. There might be a few Sheetses in Florida.
Also-
Don't quote me on that.
Also,
So
I want to note that Stephen F. Austin was in the UAC,
Yes.
but they're now in the Southland, so they're a part of this preview too. So,
there's a Bucky's literally 30 miles from Commerce.
Yeah, it's totally a Bucky's.
Okay. There's your preview.
Yep.
Next up is Nichols, Nichols State.
Thibodeau.
And change this mascot nickname of this team to the polar opposite of their current mascot. Well, they're the Devils now.
No.
No.
Nichols, Nichols.
No, sorry, they're the Colonels.
The Colonels. So are they like the Nichols Union? No.
No. What's the opposite of a colonel? Like
the
lieutenant,
random
junior grade?
civilian.
I like Nichols civilians. Sounds nice
is
to me.
colonel an enlisted rank or I guess
No, it's an officer.
Colonel's like
It's an
right
officer.
below general, right?
I have no clue. I'm very bad with ranks. Except
Yeah,
for Star
okay.
Trek. Star Trek ranks I got, not this ranks.
No, Colonel is right below general. I know this for
I
reasons.
feel like then you have to have like if the opposite of a colonel then I think is like random the Nichols civilians.
I mean, could you like do it like business wise, like the Nichols vice presidents?
Yeah. Okay.
Nichols senior vice presidents for operations.
The Nichols VP of finance.
If you just do it phonetically, you could say they're the Nichols Colonels, and then go to the Nichols Cobs.
Okay, done.
Next
Chief
up
of business operations
is Houston Christian.
Right.
And our
Shout out
question
to you guys.
is no, I forgot to pull that one.
Reroll.
No, that was
That was different. That was Commission
different.
imitating you.
Oh, go
that was
for it.
me imitating
Okay.
you.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Go for
So
it.
we gotta read that. We gotta read that again. So
Pronounce every stadium in the following voice. Commish imitating Jordan.
So
I
this
don't
is
have a thing.
This is like
Yeah,
what
like hell
school
you
is this
don't.
again?
Everyone thinks they don't have an accent
What
until
school is this
someone
again?
does it for them.
This was oh man, I just rolled it and I lost it.
Everybody forget this one already?
It was Houston Christian.
Houston Christian. Okay. Christian 20. I gotta imitate you?
Yes.
All right. Houston Christian football schedule. All right. Sure. Why not? And the
FBS schedule has it. Here we go.
I'm all right. Football team for Houston Christian Huskies. You've been here. They're
I
at
have been.
SMU. Gerald J. Ford Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I sound like. Okay.
That's right. Husky Stadium. Not Alamo Stadium where I played in the band. Alamo Dome against UTSA.
It's hard to describe what this is.
It's Poindexter is what it is.
Memorial Stadium. Homer Bryce Stadium. Gail and Tom Benton Stadium. Ernest Hawkins Field at Memorial Stadium.
Is that what EH stands for? Good to know. Okay.
Yes, Ernest Hawkins. There you go. That's done.
They do play at Indiana State, which is really
Yeah.
awesome.
The Sycamores. That's I think the Southland preview came out last week. That was fun to figure out. Like we need to go play the beloved Sycamores. So I hope you enjoyed that bad Jordan, Terrence, and Phillip combo.
That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Okay.
There were so many things it was.
Yeah, it
We
was a lot of
established that you are Terrence and Phillip on a show that you were not on like
Okay.
maybe a year ago.
Okay. I like that.
Relax, buddy.
Next one is Incarnate Word. And rate the fight song 1 to 10.
We're gonna listen to it.
Yeah. I
Let's
actually
do it.
don't know the Incarnate Word.
I don't know it. I live in San Antonio and Incarnate Words in San Antonio. I gotta make it to a game this year, which I met both of the folks working like the socials in the SID of Incarnate Word, which was fun. To like was like, hi, I am the commish of the SICKO's committee. So
So apparently they didn't have lyrics until 2019.
No, they are like, they were kind of like very small, and they're trying to like expand.
They still are very small.
No, but I mean like incredibly like niche, like really, 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 and they're trying to make it. They're pumping in a lot of money, and they're doing a lot of the online degrees here in San Antonio. It's they're trying to make a big name for themselves, which I admire it. I love the fun here.
In case they don't have the scrolling lyrics, I dropped the lyrics for you guys right there. Here we go. This is Incarnate Word's fight song. Lame.
It's a fight song. The thing that I like about it
Say
is
it, please. Say it.
the lyrics. Let's cheer for Incarnate Word. We are a fearless bird.
That's so good. That's such a good rhyme.
We are a bird.
We are a fearless bird.
Fearless bird.
Word and bird. The bird is the word, and we've got it in a fight song form.
Use that. The bird is the word. They do use that. That's right. They use it.
I'm going to give them a 6 because this is otherwise an extremely mid fight song, but they get an extra point for the opening lines being that.
They get a 4 from me with an extra point because
4.5 then?
No, the 4 is with the extra point.
Okay.
I had a 4 + 1 for Fearless Bird, so 5.
All right. I know that it's the bird is the word, and I'm gonna give them a home field love. I'm giving them an 8. Enjoy.
Let's cheer for Incarnate Word. We are a fearless bird. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay. 5. Okay, I'm bumping it up 1 by 5 to 5.
Okay, there you go. You enjoyed it.
I'm so just that's
all right.
You ever feel like you're too nice? That feels like me sometimes.
It's okay. I'm trying to get credentials.
Next up is Lamar, the Lamar Cardinals. There's lots of Cardinals in this conference.
There's a lot of birds.
Will this team ever have had a totality of solar eclipse? I think did Lamar have one in this last bit?
They're in Beaumont, Texas, so no.
No, it's too far south.
They're too far like southeast, I would say, because San Antonio was in the totality essentially, and they're a little bit.
They had 92% totality.
Yeah, they were close.
We talked about this when Blue was on the show. Basically, probably every square inch of the Earth at some point in the past or in the future has had or will have the totality of a solar eclipse go over it. The question is not if this will happen, but when.
I'm seeing 2044.
Okay.
2044. Okay. So Beaumont. It's going down in Beaumont.
Next up is
I'll be in Beaumont.
Is Stephen F. Austin, who has just, like I said, just switched conferences.
Shout out to Stephen F. Austin in their weird luxury suites that are like the back of a container truck. I love those things. They're awesome.
And Commish, how do you pronounce the city that Stephen F. Austin is in?
Nacogdoches.
Which is
different. You got Natchitoches versus Nacogdoches, baby.
No, the other one is.
Oh my god, I got to do the Cajun man.
The other one is Natchitoches. I've been over this. Yes, you have to do the Commish Cajun man.
Oh, you had me rolling by saying Nacogdoches.
and Natchitoches.
F. Austin.
So what was the reason that the Stephen F. Austin gave for basically spending a year in the WAC and moving back to Southland?
Two in the WAC. So they left and then they came back. It was kind of like, it felt like the Southland was going to fall apart, but somehow the Southland got stronger and then
it's so
Stephen F.
bizarre.
Austin was like, "Hey, we're going back," and then the WAC fell apart. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, the story originally, like, I don't think this was their stated reason, but wasn't the suggested reason that people thought the WAC was going to move up to the FBS as a group?
That was part of it too.
That was a part of it also. So, so I gotta read it in the Cajun Man voice here?
Yes, Cajun Man voice, yes.
Okay. So this is the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. So the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. They play in Homer Bryce Stadium. Then they go on the road at North Texas to that TCU Stadium.
Ooh, hold up. I need to go to that game.
Then Cowboy Stadium. Then Provost Humphrey Stadium. Then you're going all the way to Hammond, Louisiana, to play at Provo, to play at Strawberry Stadium.
Like there are more Provo stadiums? Jesus Christ.
No, Provost Humphrey, and then they got to go to Hammond to Strawberry Stadium.
Oh yes,
that's right. Then they go to Manning Field at John L. Guidry Stadium in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
What's in Thibodaux?
Nichols.
Oh, Nichols. Okay.
And also the Manning Passing Academy is always.
Oh, yes,
at
that's
Nichols
right.
University. That's right. Then you got Ernest Hawkins Field at Memorial Stadium in Commerce, Texas. I wonder if they got a Nacogdoches meat pie instead of a Natchitoches meat pie.
There's not a lot of Nacogdoches that I would be like.
It's probably like brisket in a meat pie, which is probably not a bad
okay.
thing. That's right.
Next up is Southeastern, the Daiquiri Cats, so their $5 daiquiris, and review their 1994 season, 30 years ago.
30 years ago, and how sickos it was.
Where even were they playing 30 years ago?
In Hammond?
No, I mean, like, in what conference?
Probably in the Southland.
No. You know what? They didn't have a team in 94, y'all.
What?
Ooh.
Okay.
They dropped football. They dropped football. No, we're going to leave it at that.
Asked and answered.
They dropped football between 85 and 03.
It was very sickos then.
I did not know that. Holy shit. They dropped football and then were like winning the conference within like 10 years. That's really impressive.
Wow.
We're just going to assume their club team had a very sicko season that year.
Yeah, that's
totally very
I didn't know that.
sickos.
I learned today. Lastly is McNeese. And our question is, how many human mascots do they play and what is their record against humans? What will be their record against humans?
Did we not preview Northwestern State?
We did, I believe.
No, we did.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Okay.
Who do they play?
McNeese State Cowboys football.
So they play. Okay, so they play several humans.
They play Charlton State.
Those are Texans.
Texans, so that's a human. They play Texas A&M. That's the Aggies.
Aggies, human.
Alcorn State, the Braves.
You skipped a lumberjack.
Oh, there was a lumberjack.
Even if Austin's the Lumberjacks.
I don't know. Google had it all weird out. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 humans. Alcorn State, if you consider the Braves a human.
Count that.
Okay. The Colonels, that's 5 humans. Demons are not going to be humans.
I'm going to count demons as humans.
No, demons are canonically not human.
They're not humans.
Okay. So that's 5.
They play 5 humans.
0-5.
I don't know. I feel like you get Tarleton, you get Alcorn, you lose to A&M, losing to Stephen F. Austin, and lose to Nichols. So 2 and 3.
I don't think they got Tarleton.
McNeese went 0-10 last year.
I know. This is their bounce back.
McNeese was not 0-10 last
I could
year,
see Alcorn. I don't think they got Tarleton.
There are $12 tickets available to go watch McNeese at Texas A&M, by the way.
Google says they were 0-10 last year.
Oh, I want to give some love to Lake Charles. Lake Charles got like crushed by like back-to-back hurricanes in the middle of a pandemic. So
that's right.
I want to give them some love. I want to give them some hope. 3-2 against the humans this year, at least for Lake Charles.
When you say humans, I just think of the Greendale humans from Community. That's the only.
Yeah,
sure, that's right. They play all of the Greendale humans community colleges.
The human beings were my favorite mascot.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do one more tonight. We got the Pioneer Conference. Maybe
hey, did we do Northwestern State? We didn't do Northwestern State.
I swear we did. Because I asked about the mascot, but we'll do it again. Fuck it.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
Double Northwestern State action.
We talked about them being the Devils, but they're not the Devils?
No, that was just now.
That was Nichols. No, that was the thing. We thought Nichols was the Devils. They were the Cubs.
Oh, but they're not. Okay.
What's their journalism school building / building?
Okay.
We all know Northwestern is a big journalism school.
I know. As a McGill grad in Louisiana.
Department of Journalism and Media Studies. Oh, no, this is New Mexico State. Never mind.
They have a new media, journalism, and communication arts department. It's at Kaiser Hall.
All right. Kaiser Hall. Perfect.
There we go. I don't think they have a lot more than that.
That's it. We're good. As a Kaiser Hall grad.
It also says they work out of the Johnny Emmons Academic Center, according to this.
I would like to derail this briefly to acknowledge the name of the student newspaper.
Which is?
Do it.
The Current Sauce.
Love it.
I would like to know what the current sauce is. I would click on that. Yes, I would buy that newspaper.
I would buy that.
And you open it up and it just says Buffalo.
Now we're going to talk about the Pioneer League, and y'all, the Pioneer League might be my favorite FCS league because it is the wildest in terms of spread.
I just wrote the Pioneer League preview, which will come out on Friday of this week. So like August 2nd on our Substack. It's free. Sign up, email, do it. I love this league. It is so weird. It is so like unique. Like I know we did the Ivy League, but like this is like a non-Ivy League where nobody has football scholarships.
Right. What if the Ivy League, but without all the things that make Ivy League sports like financially viable? So
it's great. A lot of fun. So let's do the standings
with worse travel.
I don't. Again, it's fine. You get to go to scenic places like the majestic Dayton, Ohio.
I mean, like, what I mean by bad travel is that it stretches from New York to San Diego.
Yeah, Poughkeepsie to Stetson, Florida, to San Diego, California, to St. Paul, Minnesota, all over the place. It's great.
What did the Pioneer end up looking like last year?
All right, so last year, the Drake Bulldogs out of Des Moines, Iowa, 8-0 in conference, 8-4 overall. They won the conference title.
Yeah, they did.
That's right. Transitioning up from D3, the St. Thomas Tommies from St. Paul, Minnesota, 7-1 in conference.
Who were kicked out of D3 for winning too much.
They
Very clear.
Did win too much, and they are winning a lot in the Pioneer.
They're jumping from D3 to FCS, which is bonkers.
I think this is their last year. They can't win anything FCS playoff wise. So they were 7-1 in conference last year, 8-4 overall. The Davidson Wildcats, they were 6-2 in conference, 7-4 overall. One of those losses was to a D2 school on something called Wildcat Pay-Per-View.
Oh my!
Again, read the Substack. Then you have the Butler Bulldogs, 5-3 in conference, 7-4 overall. You have the Marist Foxes. I think one of our Patreon members is a big Marist backer.
Marist Red Foxes.
The Red Foxes. Shout out to the Marist Red Foxes. Elizabeth, I'm coming home. 4-7 overall, 4-4 in conference. The San Diego Toreros, gotta roll those R's. 4-4 in conference, 4-7 overall. Then you have Moorhead State, which every frat boy in college had the Moorhead hat. 3-5 in conference,
Smash
3-7 overall.
Stomp on the skateboard.
It was either that or the Cox hat, the South Carolina hat, I would think. Then you had the Commish's father's alma mater, the Dayton Flyers, 2-6 in conference, 4-7 overall. Then the Presbyterian Blue Hose. I've got Blue Hose in different area codes, 2-6 in conference, 4-7 overall. Then you have the Valpo Beacons, 2-6 in conference, 3-8 overall. Thank you again, Valpo, for playing New Mexico State in 2022 to help them get to that awesome Quick Lane Bowl. Then you have the Stetson Hatters, not the Mad Hatters, 1-7 in conference, 3-8 overall. The only Florida school in the Pioneer Football League.
Oh my God. Do you know who Cal Poly hired as their head coach?
Yes.
I did not know that Paul Wolf was still coaching.
Again, if you read the Substack, which was there, Paul Wolf, the head coach of Wazoo, during the Crapple Cup.
Yeah, like the bad years.
Yes, the Wazoo went 9-40 with Paul Wolf. He is still coaching Cal Poly, who is San Diego's rival, and that's who San Diego opens the season with.
He's going to repair his reputation there. He's going to go to the playoff.
Totally.
Just so I mentioned
Playoffs.
Marist is another school coming off a coach who's been there forever. Jim
31 years.
Jim Parody was there since 92.
Mm-hmm.
And he just retired last year.
Yep.
He was 155, 171, and no, that's his total record. No, it's the only place he coached. It was fine.
That's the only place he
155,
coached. That was it.
171,
It was
and 1 at Marist.
I just wrote this today, so I'm like ready, fired up to talk about the Pioneer.
Like he would have been like if he retires, the second longest tenured coach would have been Harvard's coach, who just retired as well. We lost a lot of like old folks. By old, I mean
Saban,
like had been there
Saban
forever.
just retired too. So the Nick Saban of Marist football just retired.
Was he the last active coach with the tie on his record?
Oh, he might be.
Rest in peace, ties.
He might be. The current longest FCS tenured FCS coach is Kevin Callahan from the Monmouth Hawks in the CAA.
Does he have a tie?
I do. Let's see here. He does not have a tie on his record.
Okay.
That might have been. Good call.
That might have been the last coach to ever have a tie on his record.
Because I don't think anyone in FBS is there.
I don't think Nick Saban had a tie.
No. I mean, the longest tenured FBS coach is is Kirk Ferentz, isn't it?
Kirk Ferentz now, yeah.
Is he the
and
dean?
that was 99. Kirk Ferentz has been coaching the same year that I graduated high school.
Do you want me to say the 1999 thing again?
No.
Okay.
Say it.
What year were you born in, Joey?
1999.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt me. It's fine.
No, it doesn't hurt.
I was 4.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's a good time to be 4.
It doesn't hurt me no more. It's fine. I'm old. I've moved past the midlife crisis, and I realize I am old. It's okay.
Okay, so we have
go get some icy hot. I'll be right back.
Let's get to the Pioneer League. Our first school is Drake.
The Bulldogs.
Oh shit! I just closed the wrong thing.
Oh my god! He closed
the wheel.
Got it. Nope.
Got it back.
We're fine.
Shift T.
But I got that. But it might have old things on it. But who cares?
Let me tell you, bad time to have the word Drake in your Twitter bio right now.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think this school is not like us?
Can Drake go 8-4? Fuck yeah, they can.
I mean, they just went 8-4 last year. They can do it. They win the Pioneer, and then they lose the FCS playoff game 66-3 to North Dakota State again.
That was like, talk about a bulldog to a slaughter. It's just so mean.
Look, last year, Drake played North Dakota State. They played South Dakota State, and they played North Dakota.
Jesus
and they lost all 3 of them. And I think the closest game that they had between all 3 of those Dakotas was 55-7.
Now, damn near ran the table outside the Dakotas.
They played South Dakota this year.
But they lost to an NAIA school.
Yes.
But it happened to be the national champion.
And they still won the Pioneer. They won 8-0 in the conference.
Yeah, and then dropped every other one.
This conference rules.
There were 791 people at their game at San Diego.
And they won on a Hail Mary.
That's right. Next up is St. Thomas.
The Tommies.
And
great hockey school, by the way.
And our question is?
Nope. We did the dong question.
September Maryland scenario. This team goes undefeated in the end of September. Who do they beat? I hope someone stupid scheduled these guys.
St. Thomas football.
I don't think it's anything great, honestly.
Oh, it's not.
They're going to go 4-0.
They may likely go 4-0. Period.
University of Sioux Falls, which I think is D2. Northern Iowa, which I mean that one's might be close.
That's going to be an underrated banger, I think.
Black Hills State is also D2, and then Lindenwood.
And Lindenwood, who just moved up from D2. That's an easy September Maryland. I don't think that phases them whatsoever.
I mean, I don't see a loss for St. Thomas until I don't see a definite loss ever.
They could lose to Northern Iowa. I'll say that.
They could lose to Northern Iowa. Let me put it this way. There isn't a single game St. Thomas has this season where I would put them as a huge underdog.
No.
Like, this is a very manageable schedule for St. Thomas.
For sure. They fit
Unfortunately,
in this conference well.
they can't ride it to the playoffs, as you said, but
That's right. They gotta wait next year because they went from D3 to FCS. Like they skipped D2.
You might want to rethink your Northern Iowa thing. Northern Iowa, from what I can tell, doesn't have an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, or special teams coordinator right now.
Look,
they're figuring things out.
I mean, again, Northern Iowa is feisty. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
For me, they play in the Unidome. It doesn't matter.
Next up is
Unidome powers.
Stetson, the Hatters. And
the Hatters
is Northwestern scenario. New stadium is practice field or on nearest body of water to campus. Find a way to sailgate it.
All right. I know it's in Florida.
Yes, Stetson.
The land, Florida.
So we're looking for Stetson's practice field?
Or just...
Okay. No, we're looking for a body of water.
Yeah, and then that's... Okay, so their university has something called Painter's Pond.
I'm seeing lots of ponds.
Yeah, there are a lot of ponds. Let's see if we can get something a little bigger. It is Florida.
Okay, there's Lake Beresford Park.
Waterford Lakes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see one side.
Yeah, I see all those
Lindley.
Together.
Hey, I just found a news article. Uh-huh. This is neighbors concerned about wildlife dying in DeLand Pond, dubbed the Death Pond.
Okay, done.
All right, we are sailgating in the Death Pond.
This is Victoria Lake in DeLand.
Perfect. Done. Set.
Done.
Yep. Sold.
Sailgate it.
Okay, next up.
That's metal as hell.
Is
watching
Dayton.
The Hatters in the Death Pond.
Got Dayton, and our question is, what's their 50-year ago football schedule?
Do we have that?
I don't know.
1974. Dayton.
Okay.
Football. Search.
Looks like they went 3-8. They were independents. There's not a lot of information on this.
Yeah, I clicked in and it's like, we do not have detailed roster information. Schedule and results.
Anything?
Yes. They September 7th, 1974, they opened the season at Drake with a win, 21-7.
Nice.
Then won at Eastern Kentucky, 23-17.
Okay.
They lost to Bowling Green at Bowling Green, 21-41.
Yeah.
They lost. Yeah. Oh, they had a lengthy losing streak.
Oh, yeah.
Lost to Bowling Green, lost at Central Michigan, lost to Southern Illinois at home, lost at Western Kentucky, lost to Toledo and ECU at home, lost at Central State, which doesn't even have a link.
Okay.
Lost at Louisville, which was in the which was in the Missouri Valley then.
That's
and
right.
then won against Marshall at home 14-13.
That's right. Take that, Thundering Herd. Deal with that crap.
Central State University is not one I've heard of. They're a Division II school now in the SIAC.
SIAC.
Okay. They are the Marauders and the Lady Marauders.
The Lady Marauders.
Lady Marauders. Oh.
Oh.
I was trying to think today of like other like weird like lady things we could add to the worst mascots you can add lady to. The Pirates and the Lady Pirates. Pirates can be ladies too. Next up,
Lady Orange.
Uh-huh.
The Buck and Hers.
There's a bit in one of the last seasons of Letterkenny where they coach a women's hockey team where every team in the league is just the men's team with "ets" at the end, like Shamrockettes.
The Pirates.
The Pirates. Perfect.
Moorhead State, the only public school, by the way, in this.
Yeah.
Conference, and the lowest rated food establishment in their city limits.
Oh my God! So it's got to be in Moorhead, Kentucky.
Moorhead, Kentucky. Yelp.
The lowest rated. So we do like Yelp, I guess.
That's what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want.
I'm going to check Google Maps.
Okay. Find the lowest rated place in Moorhead, Kentucky. I am not going to Huey Magoo's Chicken Tenders.
Apparently their Dairy Queen is not very good. I'm seeing a 2-star Subway, which yikes.
Yeesh.
A 2.3-star McDonald's, which again, yikes.
I have a 3-star Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Oh my God! What the fuck is going on?
That's got
at
to be like a horrible Chick-fil-A.
What the fuck goes on at the Chick-fil-A that is a 3-star Chick-fil-A?
The closest non-chain restaurant I could find with a low rating is a 3.8 star rating for something called the Rocky Atkins Commons.
All right, that seems like is that on campus?
That might be on campus.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? I think it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, we'll give them that. Campus dining always tends to be a little rough. Yeah, I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's campus.
Okay, I'm seeing a 3-star place called Huey Magoo's Chicken Tenders.
Yeah, that's across the river, I think.
Hold up, I gotta see what the sign for Huey Magoo's.
Huey Magoo's. Okay, we're gonna go.
Is it a chain? It's a chain.
Oh my god.
Huey Magoo's. Where are you gonna go for dinner, honey? Huey Magoo's.
That sounds appetizing.
Oh, actually, okay. Their logo might be actionable by Chick-fil-A. It's pretty close because it does have a chicken on the G. It looks sort of like a Chick-fil-A chicken. That might be actionable.
I did find the lowest one, 2.4 stars, Moe's Southwest Grill.
Okay.
the burrito place?
Yep, welcome to Moe's.
Welcome to Moe's.
Huey Magoo's just sounds so good.
Mr. Huey Magoo's.
Oh, it sounds like
How do you spell Huey Magoo's?
It's in the chat.
E-Y and then Magoo's. It sounds like an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think, and I can't figure out why. Sounds like someone's character would be Huey Magoo.
I was gonna say like Mr. Magoo, like the classic cartoon, and also movie that was so offensive they had to put an apology like at the end of the movie.
So here is a 1-star review of Huey Magoo's in Moorhead, Kentucky. I sat in front of the door for over 30 minutes waiting on 2 3-piece meals while the car that ordered behind me got 2 bags of food. 3 more vehicles. This is no periods, by the way. 3 more vehicles proceeded to get food and leave. All while 10 teenagers walked around on cell phones talking and hanging out. Asked one girl where the food was. She said, "I'll check." 5 minutes later, she walked back out with food for a car behind us, not even letting us know what we had asked. It's a lot longer. The food was 5 out of 5, but service and atmosphere were 1 out of 5.
Atmosphere. We have given Huey Magoo's their fair amount of chances. We have been there a total of 5 times. Not once did they get their order correct. Y'all, after time 2...
I mean, like,
well, okay.
3 strikes and you're out, but it's Moorhead, Kentucky. You may not have many options.
Also, at what point does this become a sort of Popeyes situation, right? Where maybe it's not that Huey Magoo's has done anything wrong. It's that the Huey Magoo's gods have decided that you are going to get what you need today, which is not necessarily what you wanted today.
Yeah, a lot of the reviews of this are, the food was amazing, but it took an hour.
One of the places said they asked for banana pudding and got coleslaw. And if God has chosen that for me, then
God says you need more fiber.
Oh, God. Next up is San Diego, the Toreros, home of James Jimothy Harbaugh.
That's right. He coached 3 years there. I didn't realize he was there for 3 years.
We did that.
Here, I did the fight song. Convert their highest scoring game from 2023 to a safety per touchdown. Did they still win it?
There's no way on this.
They did get to play some pretty bad teams, but they themselves were not great.
That's the problem.
Okay. I gotta see this.
2023.
Not San Diego State.
Yeah.
San Diego. Highest scoring game was at Stetson. They won 47-20.
Yeah, there's no way that if they go schedule safety per touchdown, they win that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that gives you 6.7 touchdowns. So we'll call that 6, and that's 12 points.
Even at 14, that's still
not enough points.
No, not enough to beat the Hatters. No.
Marist Red Foxes.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Poughkeepsie. We already did that.
Also, the question, I will answer this one. No, it's New Jersey. I will not be swimming in any body of water in New Jersey.
Coolest facial hair on the Marist team.
Let's go to the roster.
Let's see that they have their roster up.
I don't think they did.
They did.
I'm stuck on a spinning wheel, which is just the Marist Red Fox staring at me with its weirdly human eyes.
Oh, yeah, why is it looking at me like that?
Why do they have bow ties?
It's just some of them have bow ties.
Some have bow ties, some don't.
Very dapper.
Is it a freshman thing with the bow ties?
Maybe.
No, because there's a junior with a bow tie.
There's not many people with facial hair.
Yeah, none of this is not like good facial hair.
Okay, I do like Declan Kazan, number 58. I'm a big fan of the hair and like the mustache.
Cooper Bothwell, number 70.
He's
just a big scraggly dude.
Oh, I like Declan's hair too, because
Declan's it's got like the Farrah Fawcett like hairstyle plus the blue eyes and the mustache.
You know what? I'm gonna find strength coach. Maybe strength coach will save me in this one.
Number 93, Jalen Carpenter, has a nice square goatee.
Yeah, like him. No, you know what? They have the least strength and conditioning coach I've ever seen. No, he doesn't look like a thumb, so he is strength coach.
He is strength coach for sure.
Okay,
there was another lineman.
The offensive coordinator, or the offensive line / run game coordinator / recruiting coordinator, TJ Weil, has like a pretty nice beard for like a middle-aged white guy.
Yeah.
Like, solid beard.
It's a little patchy, but yeah. I think I am gonna go with Declan. I think is gonna be our best bet here.
Okay, we got another one here. Hold on. Let me give you. It's Dominic Pericone. I like this one. Number 65. Little Italian here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's some spicy Italian.
That's some spiciness.
Okay. Next up is Presbyterian.
The Blue Hose. William Wallace up in here.
Most famous alumni from Presbyterian.
I have no idea who would be the most famous alumni at Presbyterian. I have no idea.
College.
Presbyterian College.
Oh yeah, this
notable alumni.
Not a lot of people I recognize.
It's like nobody.
Let's see. Former football coach at Furman Citadel in East Carolina. Justin Bethel, NFL Pro Bowl defensive back for the Falcons.
There's some military people.
I'm gonna give a shout out to this one. It's Jim Samples, the president of HGTV.
I love that name. That's very good.
I thought you were going to say inventor.
Oh, hey, Tyson Summers went to Presbyterian?
Apparently.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Current head coach of Georgia Southern.
Perfect.
No, he's not.
Him.
No, he's not. That's old.
That's old as hell.
Defensive coordinator at Western Kentucky.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that needs to change. Okay. Yeah, that's probably.
You mean to tell me that no one is updating Presbyterian's Wikipedia page?
I mean,
no, I don't. It doesn't seem that way.
Okay, there we go. I think that's our best bet. Okay, next up, we got 3 more schools. We have Davidson.
Right, the Wildcats.
Davidson, who changed their logo, I think, for the better.
Follow the school's team Twitter account and tweet during the podcast. Now following at school name. Okay.
I'd be surprised if we did not. Commish, you can do that.
I'm doing it.
This was Davidson?
Yeah, Davidson. I'm on it.
Okay.
If Twitter would come up.
Let's see. Just Twitter.
I just froze.
Twitter's been acting very funny all day.
We are not following the football account or the university account.
Okay. Is the football account active?
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay.
As of 1 day ago, they asked that we make sure that we wish one of their players, Gavin Yon, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gavin Yon.
There we go. Commish does that. Our next one is Butler. And is there an Australian on the team? I don't know how many FCS Australians we get.
Especially
probably more than you think.
Well, no, because it's a
scholarship.
Non-scholarship. That's usually what gets the Aussies over.
That's true. 2024 football roster.
Fun fact: if you are a foreign national, you cannot make NIL money in America. So
also, you also can't make NIL money at military academies.
That is less of a problem for the Australians.
Do we let Australians punt for? There's no way. There's no way we let Australians punt for the military academies. I'm seeing no one from out of country.
No.
Do we want to re-roll or just answer no?
No, the answer is no.
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Okay. I think they're all American. So glad that woke Olympic garbage isn't there at Butler. Lastly, is Valpo. The Beacons were originally Crusaders? they Crusaders before Beacons? I can't remember which.
Valparaiso.
They used to be not Beacons. They were something else.
Mascot change.
They were the.
I think they were the Crusaders.
I feel like they were the Crusaders.
Yeah.
They have like plush mascots that are dogs. Golden Retriever named Beacon and a chocolate lab named Blaze, rather. And yes, they were the Crusaders.
Yeah.
They retired the Crusaders mascot in 2021.
Do you guys remember the College of Faith scandal from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is how it broke because Valparaiso, despite being a Division I school, scheduled them and beat them, I think, 90-0. And then everyone was like, who is College of Faith? And then it turned out the answer was a guy.
That's how everyone also figured out about North American University, even though they joined the NCCAA, I think, finally. One of those other ones.
The community college one.
No,
Christian college. Sorry,
Christian college one, yeah. Okay, Valpo, and our question is, okay, map out the schedule of the team on like the Oregon Trail, predict which game will cause death by dysentery.
I mean, there's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of travel on the schedule.
Valpo, I mean, there's a lot of
let's go
Valpo here.
Valpo schedule. All right.
At UNI, at Youngstown State.
At UNI is super. That's very Oregon Trail.
Where is Valpo again?
Indiana.
Okay, so.
Or in the greater Indianapolis area. Sorry, I scrolled up. So yeah, at UNI, at Youngstown State, home versus Indiana Wesleyan, home versus Robert Morris of Illinois, at Morehead State.
There it is.
Yeah. Home versus Drake, at Stetson.
I mean, you're gonna get dysentery in Florida. That's just what it's gonna
happen. I mean.
Yeah. Looking at the rest of the schedule, it's Florida. The rest of the schedule is home versus St. Thomas of Minnesota, at Marist, home versus Butler, at Dayton, home versus Davidson.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a disease anywhere, you're going to get it in Florida.
It's going to get it in Florida, for sure.
Is this the team that travels the least in the Pioneer this year?
One of the least?
Probably one of those, because they don't have to go to San Diego.
They don't go to San Diego. And San Diego didn't even come to them.
San Diego is always the bad draw at the Pioneer. Okay, folks, that's our previews for tonight. We're going to finish up our FCSs on Tuesday with the Thursday show that you'll hear with the Big South Ohio Valley Conference, the United Athletic Conference, which is the WAC and the
Atlantic Sun.
and then our two independents, Sacred Heart and Merrimack. We'll also give you more Olympic coverage. And we'll also, we'll talk about it then. So
that's right. Commish will not be on the Tuesday podcast. Commish will be on vacation.
Where are you going, Commish? So we can stalk you. Where are you going?
Commish, you are muted and your audio went out again. Starting your vacation early.
Nope, can't hear you at all. Never mind.
Still can't hear you.
Doesn't matter. Commish won't be here. Commish is going to be vacationing in. I'm going to say. Nope, can't hear you. Sorry. Can't hear you.
He is calling in from the plane.
No, I can't hear you. It's fine. Nope. Sorry, can't hear you still. Nope, sorry.
We've locked you out of your email for your own protection on your vacation.
Yeah, can't hear you. So he's gonna go vacation in Greenland. So when he gets back from Greenland, he'll see you then. And we love everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Minions.